Hello friends, welcome to Conquer IIT JEE. Today we are going to do a very exciting activity that will help you decide whether you should get into coaching institute or not. Getting into coaching institute is not easy. It's very expensive. Sometimes we do not have enough coaching institutes in our cities. Sometimes they are very far away. Sometimes we are not able to afford them. And sometimes we feel that the self-study is better. So what works for you, we can decide that using a very good framework that we are going to use today. If we get 500 likes on this video, we are going to share a PDF of the same and you can use it anytime. Now this is an important activity, so you may want your parents to also join in to watch this video. Also keep a pen and paper so that you can write things down and then we will evaluate whether you should join or not. Okay? So are you ready? Let's get started. So very first question that we have here on the screen is your dependence on tuition and coaching classes up till now. So you have been going to school. Are you using tuition classes regularly? Have you been using them for 4 years for all your subjects? If yes, then give yourself the first point. If you think that your dependence on tuition is not so high, then give yourself 2. And if you think you do not depend on coaching at all, then give yourself a 3. Okay, once you have done that, if you have given yourself a 1, then give yourself a score of -10. If you have given yourself a 2, give yourself a score of 0. If you have given yourself a 3, then give yourself a score of +10. Now because this is a very interesting point, very important point, you need to multiply your score by 3. So if your score is -10, multiply it by 3, it becomes -30. Again, if it's +10, then +10 into 3, 30. Okay, write down that score. Okay, so we are done with the first part of our questionnaire. Let's look at the second questions. And second question is, of course, very important, affordability of coaching classes. It totally depends on your affordability. So can your family afford an expensive coaching class or not? If you say yes, you can afford it, then give yourself a 1. If you think that your affordability, there's a question mark, you may be able to do it. You may not be able to do an expensive coaching, but you may be able to do an okay coaching, then you can give yourself a 2. And if you think no, you cannot afford a coaching, just give yourself a 3. Okay, once you have given yourself a score, then if it is 1, give yourself a -10. If you have given yourself a 2, then score adds by +10. If you have given yourself a 3, then score adds by +20. Now this is also one of the most important point, hence you will have to multiply it by 4. Okay, so if you have given yourself a +20, then you multiply it by 4 and it becomes 80. Okay, you keep the first score aside, add 80 to that score. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Next is very important, the motivational level. So how do you think you get motivated? Do you think that you have a strong enough reason to get into IIT? And yes, motivation can come anytime, but at this point of time, do you feel that you have enough motivation to go along and study for 2 years, or you think maybe your motivation will go down? So if you think you have good enough reason, then give yourself a 1. If you think that the motivation may go down, then give yourself a 2. If you think that you will need a constant motivator, somebody who will have to help you out constantly, then give yourself a 3. Now if you have given 1, the score will be -10. If you're given a 2, then +10. And if it's a 3, then give it yourself a +20. Now multiply this by 2 and add it to the previous score. Alright. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, which is the impact of environment. So when you go to a coaching class, you see a lot of smart people around, and sometimes it motivates you, sometimes it discourages you. So if you think that competition motivates you, and if you think that it brings out the best in you, then give yourself a 1. If you think motivation may remain okay, or if you think it's neutral, then give yourself a 2. And then if you think that competition actually demotivates you and it impacts your score, then give yourself a 3. Okay, once you have given yourself 1, 2, 3, then if it's 1, then the score should be -10. If it's 2, then the score should be 0. If it's 3, then the score should be +10. Now add this to the previous score that you had aggregated. Okay, let's go on to the next question, which is dependence on others. Dependence on others, again, very important point. We are very used to our parents keeping a check on our preparation. So what about you? What kind of personality are you? Do you want others to keep a check on you? If your answer is no, you can take care of it yourself, then give yourself a 1. If you think that yes, sometimes you need somebody to take care of you, then give yourself a 2. And if you think that the answer that you want to give to this question is yes, you want somebody to keep a check on you every 10 days, 20 days, every month, monitor your progress, etc., then give yourself a 3. Now if it is 1, the score is -10. If it's 2, the score is +10. If it's 3, then score is +20. Okay, add this to your aggregated score. Now again, very important question, which is the type of coaching that is available in your area. So it's possible that there are no teachers at all, there are no coaching institutes at all, or there are types of coaching institutes that you should not go into. Okay, so if you think that you can relocate to some other place, it doesn't matter whether there's coaching or not, you can go to Kota, go to Delhi to study, then you can give yourself a 1. Okay, if you think that there are coaching institutes which are available in your area, wherein weekday or weekend classes are available, and you can spend about 4 to 6, you require only to spend about 4 to 6 hours a day at max, then you should give yourself a 2. Now if you think that there are coaching institutes which are available which want you to spend more than 6 hours a day and the classes are regular, you don't get lots of rest time, then you should give yourself a 3. Now this is a very, very important piece. So if you have given yourself a 1, give yourself -20. If you have given yourself a 2, give yourself -10. If you have given yourself 3, then give yourself a +30. Okay, now add this to the aggregated score. It doesn't matter whether your score is in minus or plus, it's okay. We are just into an evaluation activity, so do not worry about minus or pluses. Okay, now next piece, another important piece, is the kind of school you are going to. So there are lots of options that are available. So if you intend to go to a non-attending school or a dummy school, then you should give yourself a 1. Okay, if you intend to go to a partial school where you may have to attend a few classes, and that's also possible in some states, in some places you don't have to go regularly, but you have to go sometimes, maybe twice a week, thrice a week, something like that, then you should give yourself a 2. And if it is a attending school, right, then you have to give yourself a 3. You have to attend the classes, you have to spend good enough time in your classes, then you should give yourself a 3. Now if you're giving yourself a 1, the score should be -10. If you give yourself a 2, then the score should be 0. If you're giving yourself a 3, then the score should be +10. Now you need to multiply this by 3. Okay, now add that to your aggregated score from the previous questions. Okay, so these were the 7 questions. Now you may have got a score as to how much are you scoring, and these questions are important parameters which help you decide whether you should go to coaching or not. Now if your score is below -50, it could range anywhere between -50 to -160, then you should go to a coaching institute. You require coaching classes to prepare for JEE. If your score lies anywhere between -50 to 100, then you may not require coaching classes, but you may need some sort of an online assistance. You can enroll in video courses, video lectures, or some online classes wherein the time of coaching is around 4 to 5 hours a day and not more than that. Along with that, you will need mentorship guidance, because coaching classes will not give you mentorship. These online classes will not give you mentorship. So you will have to enroll in mentorship to really know how to head your preparation, how to plan your preparation. Now, if your score is more than 100, then you can get into self-study mode. You should have appropriate material. If you have appropriate material, again, you can still enroll in video courses if you like, but you can simply start to learn from books. One thing for sure that you would need is the mentorship, because guidance doesn't come on its own. That guidance will be needed, which will be fulfilled by mentorship. So you don't have to spend a lot of money in coaching classes if your score is above -50. So you can be rest assured that it is possible to prepare if you have the right guidance. Hope this video was helpful. When we have 500 likes on this video, we will share the PDF and you can evaluate anytime, anywhere, and decide for yourself. You can also play around with some more factors if you want. You can add some more factors and give them weightages, and this is the way to decide whether you should go there and not. If you have any questions about this evaluation, if you want to know what's behind these parameters, do write in the comment box and we will reply and tell you the methodology as well. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Do subscribe. All the best for your preparation.